Hello, can you hear me? So, first of all, I would like to pay my respected, first of all, I would like to pay my humble respect to you, ladies and gentlemen, as well as my dear opponent size, and especially our beloved judges. Okay, so today we at the government side has a very special honor to be here to present our arguments as well as our part to all of you. And of course, as you can see, that today we're going to debate on the motion of this House as a feminist regarding the rights of selfie as the means of expression. So before I start with my debate, so I would like to ask all of you, how many of you like to take a selfie? Please raise your hand up. Okay, I'm one of the friends who really like to take a selfie, of course. So when do you like to take a selfie? Sometimes when we feel bored, or sometimes when we are anxiety, and especially, for example, like before I come to this competition, I also take a selfie as well. Because this kind of action really motivated me sometimes, and especially because we want to show our jury or sometimes stuff like that. So this is just the beginnings, and according to the A2 Research Center report in 2014, have found out that 68% of the women have posted her own pictures on the social media, compared to the men only 42%. If you can see, this is the wide range that this is a different range between how women enjoy taking selfies rather than men. Of course. And that's why before I begin to my arguments, I would like to introduce you some of our men's definition first. So the first argument, the first definition is feminist. So feminist is the people who value or believe that there is the equality and opportunity between men and women. Means of expressions, I would like to stress here. Of course, there are many kinds of expressions, but we at the government side have stressed out that only the women who show off the sexist part through social media, which can lead to one of the root causes of sexual harassment, assault, and women trafficking. Selfie is the act of taking their own pictures. So, means that this kind of emotions, we really want to emphasize on the meaning of expressions, which is the lady who take a selfie or some part of her sexy part of her body that will lead to some of the disadvantages that I'm going to elaborate in our arguments. And before we begin with our elaborate the second arguments, and last but not least, our third speaker will summarize and rebut the whole case. So without further ado, I would like to proceed to the first argument, which is it's contradict to the anti-pornography feminist. Once again, it is contradict to anti-pornography feminist. According to one of the feminist type, which is anti-pornography photo, so it means that the pornography photo is somehow the photo of the women, which is a photo that describes or displays a sexual organs or the activity which intended to stimulate sexual desires. Because of this problem, that's why those anti-pornography feminists really try their best to stop this kind of action because they really want to sell the girl image. However, whenever girls show off their sexy part of the social media, meaning that this not only have this doesn't have those anti-pornography feminists, and this kind of actions could lead to the provoke of the sexy desire to meet. Of course, many sometimes they judge the girl by just looking outside. They judge the girl outside is covered. So whenever that he see the women who show off face and who show off her in the social media, it leads to the misconception that so all the girls really like that, all the girls like to take a selfie and show off the body part like that. So that's why it's really not really somehow affects those girl image. And furthermore, due to the second reasons that it will, it is related to the immorality. In the name of girl, I know that we all like to take selfie, but somehow the girl they view it in a very different perception. Since the word feminist, of course, have somehow people view it in a very different way. That's why some girls they believe that whenever they see some of the celebrities or the famous stars who show off the sexy part of her body, that's why it will create the ideas of those girls that I want to be like that as well. So because of these two magazines, the first one is completely to the anti-pornography feminist, and the second one is related to the immorality. That's why we still strongly reject that selfie can somehow. That's why the feminists regret the right of the selfie as a of expression, and would like to call your attention that this and ladies and gentlemen will for our stand. Thank you. Honorable educators, our enthusiastic audience, and my beloved opponents. We, the opposition side, appreciate the speech given by the first speaker of the government side. However, we do not agree with the definition of that. We, the opposition side, think that the government side has spoken an unfair scope, which is related to the pornography, and which is not the main focus of today's debate. And we, the opposition side, define selfie as an act of giving, taking semi-nude photos, showing the cleavage, the sexually stimulus photos, all of which vividly display the seductive property. And the first speaker of the government side as well mentioned that the first speaker of the government side mentioned the first argument. The first argument is about the contradiction to anti-pornography and selfie. And what is the difference between the pornography and the selfie? And the first speaker of the government side mentioned the mechanism of how to define the photo as a selfie photo. There is no mechanism, there is no clear mechanism or place to implement that. Let's look at the connotation of things, whether it is really the selfie that talks about the problem in the feminism. Without further ado, let's start with our first argument. As the first speaker, I will deliver the first argument, and the second argument will be delivered by the second speaker of the opposition side. And our first argument is about causation. Women in the past have been viewed as the sexual objects already, and this perception toward women rooted in men thousands of years before the rise of selfie. And we should stop the cause and not try to fit the result. Rather than tell women to be themselves, we should tell them how to keep themselves in check. Like if the government side the rise of selfie as a means of expression and try to adapt to the perception of men, whether the women should do that or shouldn't do that.
upholding the different perception from us, from us in Cambodia. Therefore, we, the opposition side, do not embrace the right of selfie as a means of expression. Thank you.
A very good morning, my respective judges, my beloved audience, and my beautiful and handsome opponent, ladies and gentlemen. Our second speaker of the government side has come to support the motion, which is this House, as a feminist, regret the risings of the selfies as the means of expression. Before we start into our argument, let me clarify to our scope of the government side that why we chose to have the scope of the means of expression here. We chose the pictures of provocative pictures or sexy pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, as a government side, we can't really see a significant issue, very significant issue about now there is a sexual assault, human trafficking, and women is the most targeted. The women is the most targeted that get the sexual assault. So that's why, as a government side, we see it is a serious problem to bring to the motion debate here. And let's move to the first arguments of the opposition side has claiming about the empowering women in the society by selfie, but the opposition side has failed to mention about why it is empower women and how it really empower women. And let's move to our second argument, where it is an act of like oppress over women when the risings of the selfie are the means of expressions, when it is a sexy or provocative picture. And we have two reasons to support. First one, we will look at the perspective of the post girl that posts into the social media. Of course, when we post a sexy pictures in the social media, there would be a cyberbully toward her. Like some people would saying that girl is this, like that, and even joking around, and then even call her a slut. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the social media, the pictures, when we post the pictures in the social media, there would be forever that we cannot delete it. So how that the girl feels. So as a government side, we really feel regret about the bully toward the girl that she somehow doesn't really mean to be. And let's look at a follower perspective itself. When the follower follow the trend to say that it is a sexy picture, wow, she feel like she has a sexy body, and I really want to have that kind of sexy body. It is sound like it is a false image and exploitative toward the follower. Like sometimes those followers just choose to follow the trend and want to have that sexy body, but she forget that she is already beautiful inside. What she already have, what she get now is really what a perfect life of her already. And also, so as a government side, we really, as a government side, we feel as a government side and as a feminism, we feel really regret toward the pictures that post into the social media, which is sexy, that will lead to cyberbullying of the post pictures and the follower, and it will provide a false image toward the second for the follower. So audience and ladies and gentlemen, please support our stand as a government side. Thank you.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Thank you. Now that I have your attention, I would like to refocus your attention onto today's motion. I believe that my opponent has missed out on the focus of today's debate. My opponent has identified selfie as pornography, which is not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference between selfie and pornography. That's why we believe that it is an unfairly set scope. And that's why our first speaker has come up to clarify on that. Even more, my opponent has strongly, both of the speakers have said something of regard to sexual harassment, sexual assault. Really? Is it really the case that sexual harassment and sexual assault is the result of taking selfie, semi-naked selfie? So before that, no woman was raped. Is that the case? Ladies and gentlemen, that is not true. Women have been raped for centuries because women was viewed as a sexual object. And I don't want to say this, but it's the truth. What my teammate has come up and say is about the causation of things. It's not about selfie, but it's about whether you can change the perspective of men. Men who view women as sexual object. You should focus on that as the government, not something so minor and so inferior to the topic of today's debate. And we want to talk about selfie in general. And we do not believe that selfie will somehow cause men to go out of their way and rape everyone. Rape again. I'm sorry. But what I want to also talk about in today's debate is that my opponent says that cyberbullying is the cause of taking naked selfie. Ladies and gentlemen, the internet troll will troll you regardless. Even if you're taking semi-nude photo, even if you're taking nude photo, or even just your plain old face, they will come and add you and bully you. And that's why, as the feminist that you are talking about, you should empower women to have the free choice, which is of regard to our second argument. I want to clarify again on our first argument, which is not about empowerment. It's about causation. What is the root cause of all of this? So moving on to our second argument, we believe that the government, as the feminists who self-proclaim themselves as feminists, believe that they should take away the freedom of taking selfie from women. For centuries, women are told to be act a certain way. For centuries, women are told to be walk a certain way. That ideology, that old belief should be stopped. We are now in the 21st century where women are sitting among men, having equal rights, and we have worked so hard to gain that. And now you're trying to restrict the freedom of something? Will this lead to the empowerment and valuing women the way that our opponent has suggested? They are just exaggerating the fact. And by doing so, you are going against the core value of what feminism is. Feminism is actually about giving voice to a certain perspective, regardless is it minority or the majority. And you need to all come to an understanding that women are people. People have choice to choose. And it is in our most interest as people, as human beings, to promote that. And the cause of everything is not, again, about women loving their body, but it's about men viewing women as sexual object. And we believe that even the first speaker of the government side agree that selfie is empowering. She said that she is a woman who takes selfie before coming here. She believes that it's encouraging and it is boosting her confidence, and that is right. Women have no wrong to believe that their body is beautiful. Women should be proud of their body, should be proud of what God given you. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the true power of feminism. And it hurt me to see that the government is actually trying to oppress women against and calling themselves as feminism. I am most shameful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for today.
Good morning, all respective adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, and all my opponents. So I'm the third speaker from the government side, and today motion is this House believes that as as the feminists regret the race of selfies as the means of expression. Ladies and gentlemen, why the government try to define the motion today as a selfie as the means of showing the sexy body? Ladies and gentlemen, let's think about the status quo nowadays. There's a lot of women that are face the problem of sexual violation, and also face the problem of women trafficking. And because of this problem, we as the government side believe that selfie is one of the root cause. It is not about the root, it's just one of the root cause that leads to the problem of human trafficking and also sexual violation. And that is why we as the government side, we regret the race of selfie as the means of expression. So before I move on to summary the whole case of my team, so let me point out the argument that raised by the opposition side first. So the opposition side has tried to argue that selfie is the means to empower the movement. But ladies and gentlemen, we really don't know how the selfie can empower the woman. And also the second speaker, they miss to interpret it. And one more thing is that the first speaker from the government side, from the opposition side, they have to rebut to our argument that it is about 21st century, and it's also the women don't need the man to judge. But ladies and gentlemen, let's think about the value of feminists. So the feminists try to demand the equal right between the man and woman. And so, how can the woman can demand the equal right from the man? We have to have our own value. So, if the woman value are not recognized by the society, so how can we demand the value from the society? Of course not. And that is why the selfie, when we showing the body, is like a sexy body through the selfie, it might affect to the value of the woman. And one more thing is about the choice of the freedoms. Yes, of course, we as the government don't try to restrict the choice of the woman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's think about the motion today. The motion is about regret, not restrict. So the government side don't try to restrict the rights of those women. We just regret them. We just regret that why the selfie, when the women show their body show their body in sexy ways through like the selfie, it might affect to their value. But why they should do this? This is about our regrets, not restrict. And now I would like to point out the argument that raised by my team. So the first speaker from my team has raised about the value of anti-pornographic feminists. So this one type of feminist that they view that when the woman try to show their sexy body, it will affect to their value, and it also will provoke like the sexual desire from the man. So of course, it is the possibility that when the man saw this picture, they might think that woman is their target. They want to have the sexual violence with that man. This is the possibility that the man can do so. And one more thing is that there is the possibility that the man think to the woman that besides they have the body to show the man, the woman do not have any value. But ladies and gentlemen, so even though the women they are not like they have the higher education, but if they show like that, they do not have enough value. They do not have enough value. This is about perspective of the man, and even though it's subjective, but we should try to we should try to reject that. So how we reject? How should we delete or remove this view? We have to think about our activity and try to reduce like showing their body in the selfie. And one more thing, our second speaker from our teams has also stated that by showing the bodies through the selfies, it means it will lead to the cyber bully. So some people might think that that woman is just like a prosecution or the slur, so they do not have enough value because of the perspective of the people. And one more thing is that the people might follow the trend. They might believe that beautiful is like that. Beautiful have to show their body through the selfie, and also have to show their sexy body through the phone. So many people believe like that. It will affect to the other people feeling. So they might view that beautiful is viewed on their bodies, not from their own. This is the problems that might affect from the selfie. And because of this problem, we as the government today, we want to propose the motion that this House regrets, as the feminist, regrets the selfie as the means of expression. Thank you so much.
Very good morning again, ladies and gentlemen, honorable adjudicators, and my beautiful opponents. So, I would like to, firstly, I would like to thanks to the government side, which have given a very good speech. I really appreciate it. And before restating all the arguments that my team has come up with, please allow me to respond to the speech and rebuttal of the government side. Firstly, the government side, the first speaker of the government side has stated that the root causes of the sexual violation is about selfie. The opponent is consistent with her stance. The first speaker just stated that selfie is the main root cause of the sexual violation, but the third speaker just came up and said that it is just one of the main root cause. And the government side keep mentioning about the women value, about selfie, like devalue women in a certain way. It might affect the value of women, but how does it affect? The government side failed to identify how that selfie affect the value of women, and they didn't state it clearly that how sexy is the selfie. I mean, they didn't tell us that. They just mentioned about the sexy selfie, but they didn't tell us how to identify which is the sexy selfie and which is not. So without further delay, please allow me to restate our arguments again. Firstly, the rise of selfie as a means of expression doesn't seem to be problematic to feminism, and it doesn't devalue feminism at all. Instead of focusing on the rising trend of selfie, we should shift our focus on men. Despite the non-existence of selfie, women can still be viewed as sex objects, ladies and gentlemen. This perception has rooted in men for decades. Therefore, by adapting to the perception, by telling women not to take selfie and stuff, it will not solve the problems at all. Instead, men should be the one who will be kept in check, they should be educated to view sexy women in a brighter side rather than sex objects. Hence, the rise of selfie as a means of expression should not be a significant concern to the government. Secondly, selfies empower women. It promotes self-love and self-confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Women can use selfies as a way to control the image of themselves that they show to the world, and they can take as many selfies as they can. Like when we take selfies can incredibly make women happier, because when we take our own selfies, we can see our picture in the camera, and we can adapt to the camera how to make us look good, beautiful, and stuff. So we will feel proud of ourselves. We adore all those beautiful photos that we have taken. Therefore, we as the opposition side would stand strong and firm to oppose this motion, which stated that the House as feminist regrets the rise of selfie as a means of expression. Thank you.
A very heated debate indeed, my friend. A lot of points has been viewed in today's debate, and I believe that we all have our stance in the motions, but the inconsistency of the government side has brought shame to me. I would like to identify some of the things that we are discussing about. Even though the debate has went sideways, one has scoped the debate into pornography, and the other one has clearly identified selfie as a means of expression through giving selfie as a semi-nude or just normal selfie. So we identified two class points, even though, again, the debate is very sideways, but we identified two class points in today's debate. First of all, it's to restrict women or to change men. My opponent want to reject, restrict women without letting her take selfie or regret that she takes selfie. But we, as the opposition side, we have thought of it in a very different perspective. Because we clearly identify the root cause of everything. Because even without selfie, again, women are still being sexualized as sexual object. Even in primitive time, this thing happened. And you cannot deny the fact and look at things from a very delusional point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, we should keep men in check. And I'm not saying that this is all men's fault for everything. But I'm saying that there is a choice that you can change your society, and it starts from you. Just like what our guest speaker said. It's all start from you. As men, if you want to empower women, not only women are struggling to raise the value of feminism, but men should also be a contribution to feminism as well. We should stop visualizing women as a sexual object and see women in a more delightful way. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you again, this is the 21st century. It's not time of tum tiêu anymore. Secondly, the second argument is the root cause of everything. My opponent has blamed all of the rape and all of the sexual harassment on selfie. But we as the opposition side, we believe the total opposite. We believe that the root cause is not that. It's our perspective. And that's why we need to come together as one. For the sake of better future, for the sake of women, for the sake of my daughter who I might have in the future. We have to come together as one and help women in general. I'm pretty sure that every one of us who is sitting here in this room have a woman at home who we love dearly. We might even sacrifice our life for them. But that's why we need to come together as one to support feminism. And I believe that this house would not regret the rise of selfie because we believe that selfie is empowering. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning once again, and thank you so much for the second speakers from the opposition side who gave a very impressive and a very dramatic debates today. I'm really feel impressed, of course, and really feel surprised that he comes up with these ideas. And ladies and gentlemen, unless I'm not mistaken, as I am the first speaker from the government side, have stated clearly about the means of expression. We refer to only the women who show off her sexist part through the social medias, and which can lead to one of the causes. I have stated earlier since the first debate, since the early of debate today. And this one of the root cause, such as sexual harassment or assaults or even women's trafficking. The second speakers from the opposite side have shown a lot about the long time ago that women are become the victim, that women be in the slavery and stuff like that. But we are talking right now in the 21st century. The opposite side have also shows that we, as even though the men or the women, need to empower the women. But because of these women, because of some of the women, some of the girls who really like to show off her sexy part, that's why it will lead to those disadvantages. As we, the government side, have not blamed all of the girls. We just try to mention those girls, some of the girls who like to show her sexy part because of her freedom of choice, right? Because of the God gave us a very beautiful image, so that we show up to the world that we are sexist girl, we are sexist, we have a sexy body. And some of, like I said, some of the celebrities who become the model of their self-image. That's why those girls try to, convert themselves or try to change their perception or mind to be as one of beautiful ladies by taking a selfie. And because they use their freedom too much, that's why it will lead to our second argument, which is the anti-pornography. Of course, like I have mentioned already, that anti-pornography is one type of the feminism, and those feminists really try their best to eliminate some of the disadvantages which is done by those kind of girls who like to show off her sexy part. Please understand about this problem. And furthermore, happy and excitement, I know everyone can be happy, everyone can be excitement, but because of some of the women enjoy too much, that's why it will lead to the disadvantages such as sexual harassment, and especially the women herself who view as a beautiful image, who give the value of herself. But because of some of the women, I mentioned only some, that show some of the sexy part, she herself do not give the value on herself. So why you want the other to value your self-image? So you need to understand about this problem. That's why I want to call your attention, judges and ladies and gentlemen, please be clear to the motions that we still strongly stand to our point. And thank you so much for your attention today. Thank you.